Hey, Haney fans. Hey, you guys. Where are you going to be October 15th? Watching Top Rank, Devin Haney versus Kambosos 2? Or watching Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilders, come back against Robert Helenius? Where are you going to be? On the PBC? Deontay Wilder's comeback against Robert Helenius? Or are you going to be watching Devin the Dream Haney versus Kambosos 2 on Top Rank? Precisely. Bomb Squad! Now, let me ask you this. When you were calling everybody haters, do I love Devin the Dream Haney? Love you like a play cousin. Love you, boy. You my guy. I am entertained by Devin the Dream Haney, but I say that he is not generally entertaining. Most people don't find him entertaining, just like a lot of people didn't find Floyd Mayweather entertaining. But you guys responded calling me a hater. ShowBizz, you're hating. Ah! It's the sweet science. Well, Devin Haney fans, he's the sweet science. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, doesn't have an ounce of sweet science in his body. He is only knockouts. Why would you be watching Wilder over Devin Haney? Why is that even a question? You tell me. Why is that a question? I'm going to be looking like a chameleon with two screens. Okay, not everybody can afford it. You're going to buy both pay-per-views? Why is that a question? Precisely. I don't judge. I'm talking to those who do judge. Which one will you watch? Not an ounce of sweet science and a knockout, right? You are calling everybody casuals for not liking Devin Haney. He's a sweet science, or calling him boring, rather. Will you look at the barbaric unga bunga casual KO, or will you be watching the sweet science? Another jab, another one. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I was telling you guys. I told you guys from the very beginning. Devin Haney versus Kambosos 1 is important. It's for undisputed, clearing all that shit up. But I told you, part 2, nobody's going to be interested in because they saw 1. I knew 1 was going to be another one. Another one. Part 2 is far more important than Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius. They're fighting for the WBC Eliminator, which Mauricio Suleiman, they're fighting for the Eliminator. Grab that WBC title, take it from Tyson Gypsy King Fury's ass, and put it on Usyk versus AJ2 for undisputed. The lineal championship is there. Make it for everything. Why make it less special? Make it as special as it can be. What are you doing? Come on, WBC. I love you like a play cousin. Wilder versus Robert Helenius is for the Eliminator already. Grab that WC belt, snatch it from Tyson Gypsy King Fury's ass, because you can't just sit there and hold it for hostage, and make Usyk versus Joshua 2 extremely important. But going back to Haney, I won't blame you for watching the knockout artist, very little sweet science, and Deontay Wilder over Mr. Sweet Science Devin Haney. Why? Because at the end of the day, boxing is at its best when there's a knockout. I love boxing, been loving boxing my whole life. I understand the history of boxing, and I know the sweet science. And a knockout is the sweet science. There's so many ways to skin a cat. One of the ways is a very entertaining one. That's your sweet science, a KO. Everybody, listen to him. Don't get it. You don't get it. He doesn't get it. I'm going to explain to you the sweet science again. I'm going to explain to you the sweet science again. And you got a sports mind and you don't get it. I outthought a sports mind. Okay. The sweet science was not defined by Floyd Mayweather. That may shock you. The sweet science was defined back in the early 1800s. And what the sweet science described was how to put together a fight systematically to knock out, to stop your opponent. See, back in the day, the fight would go until somebody dropped, or it'll go until 50 rounds, scheduled for 30 rounds. See, Floyd Mayweather redefined it for you new heads, for you. So you think the sweet science is pap, pap, and go 12. No, the sweet science has always been defined and was initially defined and originally defined as how to finish your opponent. A KO, the sweet science. That's precisely what it is. Now, you can go about it different ways. You can go about it the Mike McCullum way, the Archie Moore way, the most knockouts in the world, Archie Moore, but he did it as the Mongoose. You can do it the James Toney way. You can do it the George Foreman way, because George Foreman, the way he's built and what he has, his tools, doesn't allow him to do it the Sweet Pea Whitaker way. You grab what you are and you maximize it and you apply it to your opponent. You find out what you have and how to perfect that to finish your opponent. That's the sweet science. George Foreman, he found out, boom, boom, cut off the ring, push you, use his arms, bam, boom, how to throw a punch to knock you out. He perfected it. Deontay Wilder, he knows all he needs is one. He knows that you can't keep up the pace as a heavyweight for 12 rounds. Ask Ortiz, the second fight. Even the first fight, especially the first fight. Bam! Bomb squad! Because that's what I have. I don't have good footwork. I'm not slick, but I have range and I have athleticism and I have a one-punch killer. All I need is one. Boom, right in the forehead. Sometimes Deontay Wilder would act like he's more hurt than he is. Sometimes he'll look away and act like he's not doing anything. He did that with Ortiz. Then turned around. Bam! Anything to open him up. That is the sweet science. Maximizing who you are and what you have and apply it to your opponent. Sports mind doesn't know.